Today's video, we're going to talk about should I tell Google Ads how much money I'm making with my campaigns? Are they going to take advantage of me? This is a question that I've had asked over and over and over again. And it usually starts out with somebody saying, somebody told me that you shouldn't tell Google what you're making so they can jack up the cost per click and actually just take the extra money that you're making and take it for themselves. Cut your margins in half or whatnot. To tell you right up front without having to watch any further in this video, isn't what I've actually seen, and I'm going to explain why that is. And if you're skeptical, I'll explain my position. But it is actually bad, really bad, to tell them what you're making in some instances that have nothing to do with just honest business, if you will. But if you're in a gray area, or I shouldn't even say honest, if you're in a gray area niche, like you're doing credit repair, you're selling health supplements, when you actually start to have hyper success on Google Ads, that is the rate in which your conversions are going up, sales are going up, that actually triggers a red flag, if you will, in Google's system. Microsoft does the same thing, and I've noticed Facebook does the same thing. Go along with this. It isn't just Google, that where they say, oh, this guy's doing too good, we better check out and slam him down and take him down before he gets to where he's a lot more successful even yet. Yes, it defies logic why they would want to shut you down when you're spending a lot of money with them. But I assure you, I've seen this time and time again. Cut you down by the shins, or at the shins, I should say. When you get to where you have a great campaign, great landing page, it's just converting like crazy, and they'll take your ads down just because of that. If you're not in a totally squeaky clean niche, like plumbing services, or you're selling bicycles, or something boring like that. No offense to you if you sell those. So with that said, I want to explain my position, like I said here, a little bit more. This isn't going to be too long of a video, as there's not too much to be said here. I just wanted to answer this question for you guys, my core subscribers for the most part, so you guys understand, do you have to worry about this issue? Because I've been asked enough times at this stage, I just finally had to break down and make a video addressing this. So with that said, if you are doing anything borderline, conversion data gets used against you, as well as Bing/Microsoft, as well as Facebook. And this actually does make sense. I understand why the ad platforms have programmed their system this way, because if there is fraud, let's say someone's offering free Gucci bags, and just enter your credit card details in here, or social security number, and you were tracking every time someone put their social security number into your form, ultimately you started getting a bunch of conversions. They're going to be like, well, what the hell is this guy doing where he's so successful so quickly? And they could benchmark you against the other typical advertisers to see if you're getting success quicker than other advertisers, given that an average advertiser who's not pulling a scam is only going to be so successful so quick. You're only going to grow conversions so quick, doing things legitimately, if you will. And it doesn't mean that they're going to shut your ads down if you're super successful right away. What it does mean is if what Google/Microsoft/Facebook does, it's going to scan your website and your keywords and your ads, and it's going to see if you're in any gray area niches, technical support. The way that it clearly works is what they do is they have a bunch of gray area niches. They've created a database somewhere. These are the niches that are problematic. If it looks like you're in one of those niches based upon your keywords, your ads, your landing pages, and your conversions take off like a rocket, your ad spend along with it takes off like a rocket, and it generally has to be both. Just conversions data by itself doesn't have to go up by itself, because that could just indicate that your tracking wasn't set up right. Then you're usually going to get hit, must do an ad verification. Then right away after the ad verification's done, they're going to say, oh, your ads are not approved because of X, Y, and Z. And they do that so that they can get your information, so that if you don't want to comply and you want to set up a new account, it's hard, they can link you to the new account. With that said, and you may whine and cry and you may not like doing that, but it's worth it to just finally get through it, because everybody who's successful in a gray area niche is going to have to go through those changes, and setting up another account is just delaying the inevitable, because once you are so successful with that account, if it happens to you once, it's going to happen to you again. You just have to get through all the changes that they want you to go through. And if you can't go through the changes, then if you're going to start again, by the way, what you do, as I just described, their system's going to scan your website and try to see what niche you're in, obfuscate your niche. What I seen somebody do, which was very intelligent, in the credit repair space is they started generating leads for a credit score or credit denials. Why was I denied for credit? And then running an ad, see why you were denied for credit, and then generating those leads, and then obviously selling the credit repair on the back end, given Google doesn't necessarily like credit repair companies. And you can get around things, so to say, that way. Google, don't come after me. I'm just saying here, what people are doing that I see people do. I don't usually advocate for this. I'm not suicidal here. So just if I turn up found in a dumpster somewhere, it's foul play. So if you want to get around their so-called systems, you could do that. But where it really gets you caught up is when you have revenue tracking, though. Like, you can track leads with a gray area niche, be very successful very quick, and not get caught up in the dragnet very easily. But if you're tracking revenue, so where they know where your profit is, that one change in itself, I saw screw the same guy literally just switching from not uploading revenue to uploading revenue, because he wanted to do revenue tracking to improve the ads on the leads he's getting for people that are trying to see why they were denied credit for the credit repair service. That in itself triggered a review, if you will. When I say review, it's your ads get shut down for XYZ cause, when really, it's just an excuse, if you will, to get rid of you, as far as I'm concerned, and have you prove your innocence and have a review person look at your stuff more tightly. The way that they do things is they shut you down through their algorithm, and then if you're guilty, we were right, the algorithm was right, and if you're not guilty, well, we'll get you back on, but that takes the hard work that Google has to do to review every account. They just have a bot review, shut you down automatically. Yes, it sucks, and then make you prove your innocence. And if you're not innocent, obviously you're not going to prove yourself. So that is a whole separate thing here. When you would legitimately not want to give Google all your conversion data itself. On the other end of things, does Google raise your CPCs, or cost per click, if you tell them you're crushing it, that you're making a 2,000% ROI or ROAS? Will they just say, hey, naturally all these other guys only got 1,000% ROAS, and it's good for them. This guy has 2,000. Maybe we should just charge this guy more money for the same clicks and get him back in line to where he's making 1,000% ROAS. We know he ain't going to go anywhere if he just settles. It just gets 1,000% ROAS, because that's still money. That's still in the green for him. Do they do this? I personally haven't seen it that I've noticed. Okay, and for that matter, I understand. It really helps to understand why Google would do things. What the motive here? If you're trying to see if Google would do something, what's the motive? Google, believe it or not, wants to they think long-term versus short-term. And they don't want to piss their users off of Google bad enough to where they go elsewhere, even though it would make them money in the short term, showing more ads and so forth. That said, if Google did raise CPCs when they saw you have an above average return, that would actually be easily fixable through bidding target adjustments. You could say, if you have a 2,000% ROAS and Google cut you off at the shins again and got you down to 1,000% ROAS by raising your CPCs, and they were unethical like that, well, you could just set your target ROAS to 2,000% to reverse it, hypothetically, right? Google still wants to sell as much ad space as they can, not just charge more arbitrarily not just charge their advertisers arbitrarily. More important to Google is providing a better experience for users with the ads. Of course, yes, you can provide. They worry about how people's perception of ads are as a whole on the platform, so people don't ignore the ads. And then when they click on an ad, it was actually helpful, and they want to be able to show as many ads as possible where it's helpful to their users, so they want to click on ads more and more in the future and not just straight up ignore them altogether. They're focused on that a hell of a lot more than in any short-term, let's take advantage of this guy because he's got a little bit better return than the average. And that's what it seems like. And then on top of that, if they do want to charge more, they don't charge more for that person that's doing a little bit better than average. Okay? They actually want that guy who's doing better than average to stick around, because he wouldn't be doing better than average if he didn't provide a good experience to Google's users. So they want that guy to stick around. They want to kick the guy in the ass who barely tries and has a dog shit ad and a dog shit landing page. So it's actually the opposite. And if they do want to charge more per click, they wouldn't need to charge just the guy that's doing their users the best, like I just said. They would charge everybody in the entire niche more. Why? Because somebody's going to want the customers no matter what, if you will. And they actually do this. They're going to float the CPC up a little bit, see if they can get away with it. If they can't, there's too many advertisers disappearing as a whole, they're going to go back and reverse the change. This actually they do. They still do want to make the most money from their ad platform possible. They're just not going to cut one of their best customers at the knees that are actually helping their users, because it's counterproductive to their overall goal. More people clicking on ads in the future because they like the ads and not being annoyed by the ads. So I just wanted to explain why, even though it would be short-term in Google's interest to just charge you more if you were doing better than average and take the margin that you have for themselves, like Amazon does actually on their end. And furthermore, I know what Google's been optimizing for, which is a better experience for users on an ongoing basis. So if you have any questions about anything I covered, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? You should absolutely subscribe already, as the information on this channel is coming from somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad strategy and setting up ad campaigns for dozens of different clients that we have at our ad agency. I'm the one who does the strategy on all of it, as well as the ad testing that we do. Of what works and what doesn't work, I give to you on a silver platter on this channel, baby. And therefore, the information doesn't get any better than this. You're not going to find better information online. Promise you that. And that said, 99% of the info you do find is from people who run a couple ads or don't run any ads at all, as sad as it may seem. So you should subscribe if you haven't already. Furthermore, if you want even more information from myself, and even better, more detailed information than this from myself, you can find my blog. You should check that out as well. My blog you can find at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog has actual strategies that I use on our campaigns for our clients to guarantee the results on an ongoing basis. Our go-to strategies, if you will. I've documented them all basically for you there. Not all per se, but a good chunk of them. You should check that out and see what you can apply to your business as well there. So, and if you like the channel, you're going to like the blog as well. If you were looking for somebody to work with that's hell competent in terms of getting results on Google ads, Facebook ads, and knows their stuff, this is exactly what I do for clients. I work with clients and get them the results. And our agency does not charge any clients any fees if we don't get them a certain minimum lift in their profitability up front on their campaigns, which would mean same ad spend, more sales on the same ad spend. So we're going to pay our own way at the beginning. Otherwise, we're not going to charge you a fee. No other agency, I promise you, on the entire planet offers that. They don't. In the last 10 years, no one I've seen has offered that, or in any serious way that I've seen. So with that said, that should tell you a lot about our service that we're providing and how good it is, the quality of the information that we're presenting on this channel to you. And if you're interested in that, you can reach out to me at my firm and I'll give you a free assessment and call, see if there's something we can do for you there. I'll ask questions about your business. Ultimately, we don't work with just any client, so we're really choosy about who we work with, because we got to know we can get good results for that client to agree to take on such an offer to our clients. But if you want to see what is possible and if we could work together, reach out to me and I'll be happy to have a conversation with you about it. Guaranteedppc.com is where you can reach me and inquire about that service. As a side, we also sell ad templates. If we've worked in your niche market before, you can take the winning ads, landing pages, campaign templates, all of it that we've already developed for your niche market, and literally just copy and paste it into your own account to get the same results we are. We've worked in over 100 niche markets in the last 10 years running this firm, so the chances are quite high. We've already done all the hard work for you, and you can just take the template, buy it from us for a one-time fee, copy and paste it into your account, get the same results we are. And, obviously, if you don't like working with ad agencies, that's the second best thing. That is, if we've already done the whole hard work for you already, why not take advantage? We got people that use these templates, they work so well, to start other businesses, whether they wanted to get into selling leads, whether they wanted to get into e-commerce. It's basically as good as a turnkey system to generate profits in a niche, because naturally the hardest thing to do in a competitive niche is get the ads to work right, and we've already done it. Whether that be we want to sell printer toner, and we got a template just for that. Whether you want to offer chiropractic leads, to sell leads to chiropractors, you can get a template that just is set up to generate cheap as hell chiropractically. Anyway, if you're interested in any of those other opportunities, you can reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. With that said, I'll wrap everything up with that today. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the next one.